Shalom. This is Truth is Everlasting Lion's Den. I am Yahweh Sap. I camp out with Lion Den, Hawan Ben Yashuada in Jacksonville, Florida. But first, I'd like to give a prayer to the Father, to the Son, to the elders, to the Akims, and to the women and children. Ka Halayim La, Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai. Bahashem Ha Roga Kodash Mahamav. In the name of Yahweh Shai, in spirit and holy and in truth, double honors to the 144,000 chosen elect, double honors to the elders of GMS, double honors to my elder Hawan, salutation to the Akims who are on the four corners of the earth, and to the women and children, Shalom. Well, something very interesting happened today at camp. Being with the Akims, Wanda was talking about how the military, experimenting with the knowledge and technology that Yahweh Shai has given them, they were able to see something, and it says here, demonic entities seen in Vietnam through red night vision goggles. Okay? And that's interesting because when Yahushua comes back, he's going to bring everything with him, right? Demons, spirits, even animals that humans have not seen for many, many years that, are considered to be extinct as well, okay? The title of this lesson is called, We Wrestle Not Against Flesh and Blood. Check this out.
Now, another thing is that, as you know, Cliff, and as I've understood it, you are from military background, your father or something.
Correct.
Yeah.
Born into it, yes.
Yeah, so you know that world is always decades ahead of the white world. Now, Reagan, I think, was the first started to agitate for a Star Wars program. And that was when in the early 80s?
Yeah.
So you should assume that he wouldn't have clearing to do that if they weren't ready to launch some. Yeah. So that means that they've had about 30 years to tweak this stuff wherever.
And I know that this stuff exists because my father's role in the military brought him very close to it many times. So my father did 3 tours in the Vietnam War. And in his second tour, he was advanced enough in rank, and he was there, I think, 11 or 12 months. And when he was in country at that point, he was he's always been a field officer and came up in the military through the Korean War and a battlefield commission. And so, the military likes guys like him, and they let him be in charge of a couple of different projects. One of the projects that he was in charge of at the time was this technology that they introduced into Vietnam that almost brought the war to a standstill. Wow. And this technology was a night vision goggle. But it's not night vision as we have it now, okay? Because the night vision goggle was done in the red spectrum. And so when my father came back from Vietnam...
You mean infrared or...
No, I'll explain.
Ordinary red.
Oh, ordinary red, okay. So instead of seeing... When you look at a night vision goggles now, you see green. Everything is translated into green for you. And human eye sees green, more colors, shades of green than any other color. It's part of our evolution, our need to find food.
So that's clever then.
Correct. But see, here's the thing. It started off as red. And so the night vision goggles were introduced to helicopter pilots and gunnery people in Vietnam. And I won't hesitate as to I won't guess as to which year it was that they introduced them. But my father was part of this initial experiment with the troops that he commanded. And it was a disaster because the image was presented in red pixels, not green. And because of the technology being used at that time, it created very interesting effects that they could not deal with. So you had some officers that were part of this cadre or this cohort of other officers that were all testing these new technologies for the military that had their troops always use these goggles. And those units became self-destructive. They went down in a horrid situation. My father was extremely practical, didn't want to see himself get destroyed in any way, wanted to return and get out. So as soon as he saw what was going on with these goggles, he had his people take them off. And he actually got praise from the military for the way that he dealt with all of this. But the effect was this: a gunner in a helicopter would have no problem using these goggles, and only everything is showing up as a sort of a faint reddish image, and it was true night vision the way we have it now, and even a greater depth, because you could also flip it and get an extra layer that was sort of yellowish that would be heat signatures as well, and they don't have those combined anymore in these goggles. Anyway, the goggles that were presented to the gunners, and my father tells the story of the very first time they're out with them, and they're flying along, and he's in the front of the helicopter with the pilot, and all of a sudden, in a very peaceful area, not anything going on at all, the gunner in his on the starboard side of his helicopter starts firing wildly at their height, not at anything on the ground, but at an area that he was shooting at, and basically causing other helicopters in their little flotilla to have to react. And my father goes on back to the gunner, basically demanding, "What the hell, dude? What are you shooting at?" And the kid is just sweating profusely, and his eyes are just dilated beyond belief. And my dad thought he was dealing with another heroin addict, but this was before it had gotten really bad in Vietnam, and the kid was not exhibiting those kind of symptoms. He was reacting to what he had seen, and he's describing to my father that he was shooting at these basically flying demons that were flying alongside the helicopter, and he knew they were coming to get him because they were gesturing at him and they could see him. And so he reacted, and he started shooting his Bren gun, big 50 caliber slugs at these things, right? And they were flying along right next to the helicopter, so he's firing out directly from the helicopter, and there are other helicopters in the vicinity, so it caused all kinds of problems. And this goes on repeatedly, week after week after week. Every time they try and use these night vision goggles, at some point they encounter monsters, true monsters. Now, officers had been told not to wear these. Okay, the pilots were told not to wear them. But my dad put them on to see what the hell was going on, and to hear him describe it, it was like being in the worst kind of a demonic gothic hell. Jeez. That you'd look out at the tops of trees and you'd see these creatures with big wings and claws and everything come flying off of the tops of the trees.
Okay, let me leave it right there. That's very interesting. Now, how unsincere they're being in saying that. But, Scripture does talk about demons, okay? And just the same way that the Scripture also talks about the so-called UFOs, right? When in the Bible they are recognized, and they are called chariots or clouds, okay? I want to go to Ephesians chapter 6, verse 12. For we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principality, against powers, against the rulers of darkness of this world. That's interesting, huh? How the Bible is so alive. Against spiritual, all wickedness in high places. When I looked up principalities, whoever rules, magistrates, angels, and demons. So you can imagine how afraid the Edomites are, putting these goggles, that were red light, and seeing these things, right? You can't stop that. You can't shoot it down. You see? So what else Yahweh Shin Yahweh Shai has stored up for these wicked ones to be removed from power? Huh? I want to go to verse 13. Wherefore, take unto you the whole armor of Yahweh, that ye may be able to withstand in the evil day, and having done all to stand. Right? Spiritual has to do with supernatural. Right? Regenerated. Right? Meaning that somebody that passed away, and come back again and come back with those spirit demons inside of them, right? Armor, the shield, the sword, the helmet, the breastplate, right? These are the tools, spiritual weapons that we need to stand in the days that are coming, the end of times, right? That's getting closer day by day, more and more. Verse 14, stand therefore, having your loins girt about with truth, and having on the breastplate of righteousness, right? That's very important. Righteousness, the condition acceptable to Yahweh, right? That's very doing the work, going out in the highways and byways as a living sacrifice, right? Celebrating his feast days to the best of your ability, and not celebrating and worshiping these pagan feast days, right? Not taking the juice, right? Not falling into obeying the wickedness of theory, philosophy, and science of this world. Moving along to verse 15. And your feet shoes with the preparation of the gospel of peace. Right? Preparation, the act, right? It's an action. The act of preparing. The condition of a person or thing so far forth as prepare, preparedness, readiness. Because that can happen at any time. Things are moving so fast every day, it's only a matter of time. I want to go to Isaiah chapter 52. Let me turn my pages here. Give me a minute. Yeah, when the Yakin told me that, I said, what? It came out on a video like this. I got to see. Man. I said, what? 52, verse 7. How beautiful upon the mountains, right, government, are the feet of him that, I gotta hit this, Lakia, that brings good tidings, right, good news, good announcement, that publishes peace, that brings good tidings of good, that publishes salvation, that says unto Israel, thy Yahweh reigns, right? He's the one, the true ruler of everything. Give it to his son. Lakia. And give it to his son to take back the earth, right? And remove this wicked world out of the earth forever. Okay? And its wickedness as well. I want to go to Romans chapter 10. Give me a minute. Back page. Let me go backwards here. Chapter 10, what? Verse 15. And it says, and how shall they preach except that they be sent? As it is written, how beautiful are the feet of them that, I gotta hit this again, Salakia, that preach the gospel of peace and brings glad tidings of good things. So that's what we're doing. We're going to highways and byways, right? Bringing the good news that Yahweh Shah is coming back to remove these wicked Edomites and their wicked kingdom off the face of the earth, right? Putting back these demons, right, back in order as well. Okay? Nahum. Let me go to Nahum. Okay, chapter 1, verse 15. Behold, upon the mountains, right, upon the government, the feet of him that brings good tidings, that publisheth peace. O Judah, keep thy solemn feast, perform thy vow, for the wicked shall no more pass through thee. He is utterly cut off. Yeah. And that's what Yahushua is going to do. He's coming back, right? And he's going to remove all these wickedness that's going on in this world, in this earth, right? And remove all the poison that they have put in the air, in the water, in the food, in the clothes, right? And now they want to put it inside the people, right? That's real wicked. I want to go to Psalm chapter, I'm keeping it short, guys. Chapter 93, verse 1. Oops. Give me a minute, I hit this. There we go. Yahweh reigns. He is clothed with majesty. Yahweh is clothed with strength, wherewith he has girded himself. The world also is established that it cannot be moved. Yeah. It's a done deal, man. Okay? When he comes back, when Yahweh the Father sends his son Yahushua, our King, Lord of Lords, King of Kings and Lord of Lords, the tribe of Judah, the head tribe, when he comes back, he's coming back to claim what is his. He's going to take what is his, right? And remove the imposters, these fake, wicked Edomites. Verse 2, thy throne is established of old. Thou art from everlasting. See? And this is what the Edomites don't like us reading the Bible to the world, the so-called Negro Latino, Native American speckled birds, right? The Hebrew Israelites, the true people of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. Because they spend so much money, we're talking about in the billions, right? For so many years, to be indoctrinated in their school, right? Hypnotized, brainwashed, right? That they are the ones who did all these great inventions. They are the ones that brought all these good things to the world. When that's one big fat lie. I want to leave it with Psalm chapter 96, verse 10. It says here, oops, I gotta hit this again. Say among the heathens that Yahweh reigns. The world also shall be established, that it shall not be moved. He shall judge the people righteously. And how's he going to do that? Through his son Yahweh Shai. Okay? Verse 11. Oops. And I'll leave it with verse 11. Okay? Let the heavens rejoice, and let the earth be glad. Let the sea roar, right? The mass of people, and the fullness thereof. Okay? That means it's going to be a sure thing. Unstoppable. Okay? And we are getting closer more every day for them to bring in the digital currency, right? And since now they've been so consistent, which I thank the wickedness for being consistent and using the word pandemic, right? Well, now they're making it clear they're bringing the juice, okay? The MOTV, the charagma, the C-hip, right? That chip. I hope that this was edifying, and with that I'll say, Shalom.